Chapter 6: The Correct Way to Open a Genius. Me. Uchiha Shin was being complained about by Big Brother when he was suddenly called out and was a bit unresponsive.
Yes.
Nobio nodded, looking forward to it even more. Maybe, probably, maybe something will be gained. Uchiha Shin whispered a little uncertainly. What's the meaning? Nobio frowned, very surprised. Did you mistake him for being a fake Uchiha like Obito? Well, I'll give it a try. Uchiha Shin tilted his head and picked his ears with the little finger of his right hand, muttering helplessly. Nobio was speechless, but became even more excited. This dramatic scene also attracted the attention of the students, who all focused their attention on Uchiha Shin. Especially Kakashi, who had just performed well. His eyes were fixed on Uchiha Shin, wanting to see what this classmate who had been in the limelight since the beginning of the school year could do. Uchiha Shin took a breath, put his index finger and middle finger together, his ring finger and little finger together, placed his left hand on top of his right hand, overlapping them up and down, and clasped the two fingers of his right hand with the thumb of his left hand, forming a seal. Transformation Jutsu. As the chakra was guided out of his body, Uchiha Shin, who felt almost done, gave a soft sound and called out the name of the technique. Bang! Amidst a muffled sound, a large amount of white smoke erupted from Uchiha Shin's body, obscuring his figure. Fortunately, the smoke comes and goes quickly. It is natural and pollution-free. After the smoke dissipated, the original Uchiha Shin who was making the seal was not seen. Instead, it was Uchiha Obito who was making the seal gesture. For a moment, time in the classroom seemed to have stopped, and everyone was dumbfounded. Obito himself, who was closest to the seal, opened his mouth so wide that he could swallow a goose egg. Ah! However, as the person involved, Obito was the first to react. He yelled unconsciously and transformed into fool. It seems like I have gone too far. Seeing that Obito was beginning to doubt his life, Uchiha Shin quickly canceled the transformation and returned to his own form after a puff of smoke, muttering in a low voice. This was his first time trying ninjutsu, and before that he didn't know if he could succeed. The intention is just an attempt. It's good if it succeeds. It doesn't hurt if it doesn't. After all, everyone has just started their ninja journey, so there's no shame in it. As for displaying chakra, Shin don't even think about trying. After all, he have no trust in his control. What if he display too much chakra? After all, as chakra increase in concentration, you can even see it with your naked eyes. Or, what if his chakra is not blue like humans, instead it is red like tailed beast? So he tried using jutsu. However, when he actually successfully used the transformation technique, everyone's reaction scared him. At this enlightenment stage of the ninja road, Kakashi who can refine chakra is surprising enough, but a person who can use ninjutsu, even the basic three-body technique that only requires a seal, is amazing enough. It's not surprising that everyone has such a reaction. Shin, what did you do? Obito, who finally recovered from fool's state, roared with complicated eyes and fiercely grabbed Uchiha Shin's collar with both hands. He let Obito's claws go without leaving any trace, and Shin felt a little headache. We have already caused a lot of trouble. Why are you adding to it, brother? How did you do it? Why can you use ninjutsu? Obito had no intention of letting him go. He still reached for Uchiha Shin's collar with his teeth and claws bared, and roared through gritted teeth, venting his emotions like a little beast that had been abandoned by its owner. Of course you teach me well, big brother. Resisting the resentment of beating Obito to death immediately and letting him receive the praise, Uchiha Shin rolled his eyes, held Obito's hands, and said excitedly, really? This answer immediately caused the excited Obito to enter a shutdown state, doubting his life, and forgetting to continue scratching Uchiha Shin. Cough cough. A slight cough brought everyone who was still immersed in the shock of Uchiha Shin's ninjutsu back to their senses. As expected of the Uchiha clan, Shin, you're probably the most talented ninja I have ever seen. On the podium, Nohio, who held his right fist to his mouth, attracted everyone's attention and said solemnly, with unconcealed surprise and shock in his words, As teachers at Konoha Ninja School, the quality of the students they teach is an important assessment for them as teachers. The emergence of one or two geniuses among the students he brings out is enough to improve his teaching quality evaluation by several levels. Even if there is no such reason, after the students graduate and become outstanding ninjas, they will feel proud when they speak out. That so-and-so was taught by me back then. Without my teachings, he would not be where he is today. It should be said that he is worthy of being an Uchiha. Wow, Shin is not only handsome, but also a genius. He's so awesome. The children who were awakened by Nohyo came back to their senses one after another. After realizing what happened, they immediately exploded and began to discuss among themselves. Transformation Jutsu. Kakashi, who had just shown his hand and gained everyone's attention, clenched his hands tightly into fists under the table, and his nails were almost dug into his flesh. I thought that having refined chakra and being able to initially use it, I should be ahead of everyone, becoming a being known as a genius among my peers, and catching up in my father's footsteps. But why would there be a being who can already use ninjutsu? Are the Uchiha clan really that talented? No. When did I teach you transformation jutsu? Obito, who had been enjoying himself for a long time, finally realized that he had done nothing. He grabbed Uchiha Shin's collar again, leaned into his ear, and asked through gritted teeth. Isn't it you? I may have remembered it wrong. The unprepared Uchiha Shin was caught off guard, grinning and pretending to be stupid. Damn it, are you kidding me, Uchiha Shin? Obito, who finally realized that he had been tricked, roared and spat Uchiha Shin in the face. I've been discovered. Uchiha Shin wiped his face and shrugged. I am going to kill you. At night, by the small lake in the Uchiha tribe. After finally getting rid of the enthusiastic classmates and calming Obito's injured heart with a meal of ramen, Uchiha Shin was finally able to take some time off and come to this relatively secluded lake. Shin is just lying on the ground and looking towards the moon. He was not lazying around. Instead, he is absorbing nature's energy. It's just he stopped absorbing nature energy as soon as he about to enter into Sage mode. Entering into Sage mode will give him face marks exactly like Hashirama Senju. Yes, he confirmed that Hashirama Senju's Sage mode is actually Monkey Sage mode, not Slug Sage mode. Tsunade and Sakura use imperfect Slug Sage mode through In's seal technique. As for why he was not entering into Sage mode, because he can feel some eyes who are keeping eye on him. Luckily, no one can see him absorbing nature energy, unless that person is also Sage mode user like Jiraiya.